Hi, I'm Matt with Jenson USA, here with a bike that proves that bigger might be better. When I first rode a Process 153 in the 27.5 variety, my first ride on that bike was my first ride in Squamish. And I was a little concerned that day. I was riding with a pro that lives up there and figured I was probably gonna spend some time on the ground. And there were a number of times when that bike bailed me out, and so I was friends with it right away. I really liked that bike. So when they came out with a 29er version, that got my interest. So this is a really cool bike, and they've made a lot of other changes, but that wheel size is gonna be a big part of the recipe. So when I think about Kona, and I think about this Process 153 ALDL, I think about two things. First of all, I think about their geometry. They've always been known for that, always known for being progressive and at the forefront with geometry design. The other thing that I think about with them is I think about value, and they've always done a great job at making a lot of bike for a little bit of money. So let's start out talking about the geometry and design aspect of this bike, and then we'll circle back on the value part. So this bike, again, they took what they learned with that 27.5 bike and made a 29er platform, and the geometry was right on point. We've got a 66-degree head angle, so they didn't go too far with that. And with a 29er, you don't want to go too crazy or the thing starts to feel a little lethargic. This will handle all the rough stuff, but it's still going to feel like something you want to ride all day. It's got a 66-degree seat angle. I'm sorry, a 76-degree seat angle, and that's important for getting you up on top of the pedals. Obviously, a lot of people are going that way. But what's important with that is that you pair that steeper seat angle with a longer front center, and that's what they've done. This is a large, it's got a 475 millimeter reach, so it's a really lengthy cockpit. At the same time, that's gonna really grow the wheelbase. This has a 48-inch wheelbase, and it could feel like a truck if you didn't tuck the rear wheel, but they did do that. They brought it in with a 425 millimeter chainstay length, and that balances the bike and makes it still handle really well, but still feel really capable. So I like what they've done a lot with the geometry, but I also like some of the other features that they brought in. For the first time, you have the ability to mount a water bottle inside the main triangle, which is really important. They are going to a metric trunnion mount shock, so that's really cool. Their suspension design is a faux bar linkage, so you're getting a lot of stiffness in the rear triangle and really a tried and true proven suspension design. Let's talk about specs with this thing. So obviously Process 153, it's 153 millimeters to travel in the back. Up front, we've got a Yari 160 millimeter travel fork. They're pairing that to a RockShox Deluxe shock in the back. Keeping it in the family, we've got a RockShox Reverb dropper post, and this is a 170 on the large. It shares that dropper length with the XL. If you get a medium, you'll be looking at a 150 dropper. And then I look at the rest of the cockpit pieces, you know, it's all quality kit. You got a Kona bar and stem, you've got a Kona branded WTB Volt saddle. And then you look at the rest of the bike and you think, man, this is all stuff that's really ready to go. WTB scraper rims with Maxxis Minion DHF tires. One of my all-time favorite aggressive riding tires. These things are rad. And then the drivetrain is a full SRAM GX Eagle kit with SRAM Guide 4-piston brakes. So you look at it and you go, you could upgrade something if you wanted, but everything in here is ready to go. And that's where the value proposition comes in. This bike was originally $35.99. It's a lot of bike at that money, but we were fortunate enough to get a special opportunity on these. So these are gonna be $25.99 now. And that gets really interesting, especially when you look at it and you go, man, this is a good looking bike. I mean, I like the matte black a lot. The copper accents really do it for me. So great looking bike. It's a great riding bike, and it's gonna be really durable package. So if you have any more questions that we haven't answered, please reach out to a gear advisor. Remember, all the bikes that we ship here come in a box where they're ready to rip in less than 3 minutes. You just put on the front tire, install your pedals, and go. So thanks for watching the video, and keep pedaling.